Welcome back to It Starts with Clarity. I'm your host, Ellen Gibson, and this is the space where we have real conversations about life, business, and those pivot points where clarity matters most. Each week, we slow things down just enough to look honestly at where we are, what's working, what's not, and how clarity helps us take our next step, especially when the path isn't obvious. Today's episode is going to feel a little different. I want to talk about those seasons when you're in the middle of something hard. Not at the beginning where there's adrenaline, and not at the end where there's relief or resolution, but in the middle, the part where it feels dark, where the fog is thick, where you can't see the way out and you're not even sure what the right question is anymore. These are the moments I see most often with clients, high-functioning, thoughtful people who are doing their best, yet quietly wondering, why can't I see this clearly? Why does everything feel so heavy? How do I move forward when I don't know which way is right? First, let's normalize this. Fog does not mean failure. Darkness does not mean you've lost your way. And confusion doesn't mean you're broken. Often, it simply means you are between chapters. And when clarity feels far away, the goal is not to force answers, but to stabilize yourself enough to hear them. One of the things I talk about often with clients is pressing into your anchors, or what I sometimes call your fence post. These are the things you know to be true, even when everything else feels uncertain. Your anchors might be your values, your faith, past experiences where you did get through something hard, principles you've lived by for years, or truths about who you are at your core. When the fog rolls in, this is not the time to question everything. This is the time to say, what do I know to be true, no matter how I feel today? Anchors don't give you the full map. They simply give you standing when visibility is low. Another critical piece, one that often gets lost in noisy seasons, is trusting yourself. Many people lose clarity not because they lack wisdom, but because they stop trusting their own inner knowing. They ask everyone else. They collect opinions. They over-research. They over-analyze. And the noise drowns out the one voice that actually matters. Your intuition is not loud. It doesn't shout and it doesn't argue. It whispers. And you can't hear a whisper in a room full of opinions. Clarity requires quiet. Not accidental quiet, but intentional quiet. This might mean stepping back from conversations about the issue or reducing media and information intake. Spending time alone without trying to solve anything, or just sitting with a journal, take a walk, or sit in silence. Scripture teaches us to ponder it out in our mind. That word, ponder, implies time, stillness, and patience. You don't ponder in a rush. You ponder by allowing thoughts to settle until truth rises. When it's foggy, our instinct is to move outward, to take action, to make a decision, to do something, anything, to feel progress. But often, the right move is inward first. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding feeling? What am I afraid will happen if I wait? What is my body telling me? And where do I feel peace, even if it doesn't make sense yet? Clarity is rarely forced, it's revealed. A few additional anchors that you can lean into during foggy seasons might be to slow your timeline. Urgency creates discernment. Or care for your physical self because fatigue mimics confusion. Name what is temporary. Feelings are not forecast. Limit your decision making. You don't need to solve everything at once. And hold compassion for yourself. This is a season. It's not your identity. Sometimes the clearest step is simply not making a wrong one. Here's something important to remember. Fog often appears before the clarity, not instead of it. It's part of the process. It's not a sign that you're off track. If you're in a foggy season right now, my hope is that you'll stop trying to see the entire path and instead ask, what anchor can I press into today? What noise can I quiet? What truth can I stand on even without answers? As we close, I want to leave you with this reflection question. What do I know to be true right now, even if I don't know what comes next? Sit with that. Ponder it. Let clarity meet you where you are. If you'd like additional support, reflection tools, or information about one-on-one consulting, virtual mastermind groups, or upcoming programs, you can visit my website at pivotpointme.com. You will find resources there designed to help you slow down, get clear, and move forward with intention. Now, before we end today, let's take a brief pause together. If you can, gently close your eyes. Take a slow breath in and a long breath out. Allow your shoulders to soften and allow your mind to quiet. Bring to mind one truth you know to be solid, one anchor you can hold on to today. You don't need answers right now. You don't need to see the whole path. Just rest in what you know to be true. Now, take one more slow breath in and release it. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this episode resonated with you, it's likely because you're standing at a pivot point, and you don't have to navigate that alone. Until next time, remember, it all starts with clarity.